lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to...
It's given us a good opportunity here to really take a close look at the Colts with obviously the extra day involved. And it's really a well-balanced football team, that Chris and Frank and their staffs have put together. Good on offense, good on defense, good in the kicking game, good at all levels of all of them. So, they put a lot of pressure on you, and obviously execute well. Don't turn the ball over, do a good job of taking it away, play good situational football. Bubba's done a good job in the kicking game. They have a really good core group of players, explosive returners. Again, they're well balanced on offense with a running game, passing game, and defensively, same thing. Play to run, rush the passer. Have good players at all three levels of the defense with Moore, Buckner, and Leonard obviously leading the way. So, be a big challenge for us. Team we don't know very well that haven't played in a little while here. So, still got a lot of work to do, but we're gaining on it here. And, be ready to go Saturday night.
Bill, is there a little more emphasis on the COVID protocols? It seems like all the guys have been coming up with masks, not just what's going on in sports in the world right now, just the emphasis on taking care of yourself.
Yeah, the league's put out some new things. We'll be in compliance with them. And I feel like there's been emphasis on it all year.
As you started your study of the Colts, what has impressed you about the coach, Frank Reich, and
what I just said.
About his coaching style?
Yeah, they've done a good job. They did a good job of, like I said, balancing out the offense. They have a well-balanced team.
Bill, what have you seen out of the rookie Kwity Paye for that? He's a local kid.
Yeah, he's a disruptive player. Plays primarily, on the edge and does a good job. And they have a lot of disruptive players on the front, but very athletic guy. Good playing strength, instinctive. He doesn't drop into coverage much, but they do it every now and then just to keep you honest, and that's a problem. He can definitely do that. He's a good football players. Young guys playing with a lot of other good players in a good scheme, and he's got good size for a defensive end and runs well. He's very athletic.
Bill, I know he only was here for a short amount of time, but what were your impressions of Demaryius Thomas based on the time that you did spend around him?
Yeah, that's a very sad and unfortunate situation. And we talked about him on Tuesday, or Monday, whatever day it was, Tuesday. But our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and, this is a great kid that, didn't have an easy start to his life, but really is, embraced every opportunity he had great relationships with everybody from, the top on down to the lowest ball boy or, whatever. Teammates always, a smile on his face, worked hard, great team player, and very, passionate and compassionate individual. Did everything he asked him to do. I think everybody else has a ton of respect for DT. And of course, Josh knew him well and, knew him better than anybody in this locker room. But, we have a lot of people that had relationships with him, and they were all positive. I don't think anybody could ever find a bad word to say about him. And we think about all that he went through and what he accomplished in his life and what he had to overcome and what a person. He's a great player. He's a better person.
Bill, as far as the Colts defense goes, Darius Leonard has been a great player for them. I know he's dealt with some injury this year, but what's made him an effective guy for them to have on the field?
Yeah, again, they have a lot of good players. He's fast, he's instinctive, They surround the ball a lot, and obviously, leads the league in caused fumbles and leads the league in interceptions over the last however many years amongst the linebackers, and high in the tackles. I mean, both those guys, have a lot of tackles, and again, they have a disruptive front in front of them. So they help them. The line helps the linebackers help the line. I mean, they play well as a front six or front seven, however you want to call it. Depending on where you want to bring more into as the nickel back. He's kind of involved in there a lot too, at times. So, but yeah, he's fast, he's long, he's instinctive. He's around the ball a lot, causes a lot of negative plays and turnovers.
Taylor's gotten a lot of attention this year, obviously, but what have you seen from Nyheim Hines, another guy that seems to have been?
Yeah, they're both a big problem. Totally different, but both a real big problem. Hines is really good in the passing game. He's obviously very fast, very explosive guy. Can get through holes or can get the ball and get into space quickly and make big plays. Excellent in the passing game in terms of route running and his level to attack, his ability to attack all three levels of the defense. He can run by corners, not to mention linebackers, and he's a good route runner, catches the ball well, and very explosive with the ball in his hands, whether it's on a running play, a jet sweep, a pass play, punt return. They get it to him multiple ways, and he gets the top speed quickly, and he's a shifty guy, good football player. And there's times when he and Taylor are in there together, which is just another way to attack the defense.
Are Bubba's special teams schemes very similar based on his upbringing?
Yeah, some of the fundamentals are. He spent a lot of time with Coach Seeley through his career, and I think you see some evidence of Brad's schemes as well. But yeah, Bubba's a good, solid, fundamental coach. Those players are well prepared. Obviously, they play hard. They're physical. He's got a good core group of players. He's got about 7 or 8 players that are on every team, and it's a good combination of size and speed. Doolin's really impressive, and Odom, and I got a group of linebackers in there, so it's good. It's a good group, and the returners are explosive, Rogers and Hines. So those guys don't need a lot of space. They can do a lot of damage.
Well, how have you seen Jawan Bentley develop, and what kind of you have a lot of leaders on that defense, vocal leaders. He seems to have a strong leadership just by example as he goes about his business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jawan's a smart kid with natural leadership ability. I think we saw that early when he got here. Showed up at DeMatha, showed up at Purdue, showed up here. I think he impacted all those programs right away. Freshman, sophomore year type things, and has good command of the defense. Verbal guy, can make calls and adjustments on the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got a lot of confidence in what he says because he's well prepared and he knows what he's doing. He's tough, plays hard. Physical player. Can do a lot of different things for us. In terms of playing a run, pass coverage. Recognizing screens and misdirection plays, things like that. He's a smart, instinctive player.
Coach Carson Wentz being back with Frank Reich this year, how have you seen maybe what they do offensively, highlighting some of the strengths that Wentz has as a quarterback?
Well, I mean, they basically, they have an offensive system that they've, run now for 4 years. How long he's been there? Yeah, 4 years. So. But they run their offensive system. It's very similar to what they did at Philly when, Reich was there under Peterson. Wentz was there. So I don't think they've changed their system too much. No reason to. Everything goes. But I mean, they run the ball, they throw it, they lead the league in rushing. They're a good passing team. They can make explosive plays and use multiple players, tight ends, multiple backs, a good group of receivers. Not having Paris. I mean, there's another good player, but haven't had him. But they've still been productive, and obviously the record speaks for itself. Lost a couple of close games. close game to Tampa, overtime to Tennessee, overtime to Baltimore. They're right there in a couple of games they've lost.
What have you seen from Joshua Bledsoe, and do you anticipate him maybe having a role this year on game day?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, Josh got a late start, obviously, because of the situation he had in the spring, and that was unfortunate. But when he got an opportunity to practice the last 2.5 weeks, he's done a good job, and showed up out there and positively to the point where we, felt he might have a chance to contribute this year. We'll see. I don't know.
Bill, understanding that every team is different, each year is different. In Reich's first year, they go 1-5 to start, but they get to the playoffs. I think the third team since the merger to get to the playoffs after a 1-5 start. The next year, their starting quarterback retires, late in preseason, and they're a competitive team all year. And this year, they start off slow, 0-3, 1-4, and here they are, with a winning record and playing well. But what does it tell you about a team and kind of the foundation of a program that overcome adversity early on to play its best football as the season goes on?
Yeah, I have to go back and study those years more carefully. I haven't really done that, but they're pretty consistent. So again, I'd say even a couple of the games they didn't win this year, you see a lot of good football there, and they could easily won those games. So I don't know. But they're pretty steady, solid team, as I said, and they're good in all three phases of the game. So it's not like they just rely on one thing or one guy. They've got multiple guys on offense, multiple guys on defense at different levels of the offense, the defense. Obviously, they've invested heavily in the O&D lines, in draft choices and free agency and things like that. But that's really a solid foundation for their team. But they're linebackers, DBs, receivers, tight ends, running back, so they got a lot of guys in the kicking game that are again it's a very good core. Probably is right up there at the top of the core groups that we've seen, plus two explosive returners. So I think when you have that kind of balance and that kind of depth, and you're gonna win your share games.
Bill, how important is the RPO stuff to their offense, and what makes that hard for defenses?
Yeah, well, I think Frank's talked about it. They run a handful of times every game, so you're going to have to deal with it. It's just another way to attack the defense, and deal with the for the defense to have to deal with run plays that also could be passes, and another set of reading their keys and doing it right, getting the right assignment. They have multiple ways to run them. They have about 5 or 6 different concepts that go with either the pass that goes with the run, and 2 or 3 different running concepts that they package with it. So you can't just count on one thing or 2 things. They have multiple ways of doing it.
Bill, because of the way they play defense and have successfully denied a lot of explosive passing plays, is this a game where Mac's patience will kind of be critical for him in terms of accepting smaller gains as they move downfield?
Yeah, well, I don't think exactly what they're going to do. They mix it up, pretty good. So, you're right. They haven't, allowed a lot of explosive plays, and I don't know if they will or won't. But I think we just got to read the coverages and do a good job of their pass protection, run good routes, have good spacing, run good routes against man-to-man coverage, and read the play out. Wherever the coverage tells him to go, I think that's where he should go with the ball. So, which is what he's trying to do, and we're trying to get him to do. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Depends on how certain plays match up against certain coverages and how they're played. We'll also have to see.
Your final question?
Lots of spring in your step because of what happened Saturday this week?
Oh, love to see Navy win. Yeah, that's a big win for them. Yep. Appreciate it. Yeah. Always good to beat Army. All right. Thank you.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade? Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.